Welcome, everyone, to the final day. The market is open in February. And folks, if you made it through this week, remember, the greatest health is yours. I honestly had no idea I had this mug. I thought it was going to say, "Don't sue me, bro." It's from RuneScape. Anyway, welcome back. Wow. Yeah, this was an insane week. This is probably the ugliest week, in my opinion, that we've really had since like September. September was really sudden, like really painful. Yeah, right before the election, we had some sell, but everybody right before the election knew it was because of the election. It's like, it's whatever. We'll see what happens on the election. And there was a thought the market was going to crash after the election, but the party just kept going. This week is like, the market crashing because of bonds? What? Come on. Like, it's weird. All right. Anyway, so we got 27 minutes to go before the closing bell. Yeah, I played old school RuneScape a lot in November when they were doing the what's it called? The Iron Man thing where everything's 2x. Oh, that was fun. I forgot what they call it. But anyway, so somebody actually walked up to me in the game and they're like, "Do you make any YouTube videos?" And I wrote back, I go, "Maybe." And then they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're such a fraud just using that Me Kevin name." And then they walk away because they didn't. Yeah, anyway, it's funny. If you're listening, it was me. Okay, so Fisker, 29%. Look at this. It ran even more today. We had a little bit of a dip around 11 a.m. that could have been an entry point, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm just watching Fisker. Fisker, one of the things to keep in mind, Fisker, probably about 2 years behind Lucid in terms of production, probably about, significantly cheaper as well because it had gone bankrupt in the past back in like 2011. And so those are things that could potentially weigh on a Fisker a little bit. Much smaller market cap, though, compared to a Lucid. Now, keep in mind, when you're looking at the market cap of a Lucid, you can't look at the market cap of CCIV. Market cap of Lucid is your $24 billion for every $15. So that puts us around 48 bill right now. Whereas Fisker's much lower. I mean, this is I think it's at like under 8 billion or something like that, which is really, really inexpensive. And I think that potentially, that realization of the inexpensiveness of Fisker, even if it's 2 years behind, could potentially lead to a sustained rally at Fisker. Now, personally, I'm not in on Fisker right now. It's a stock that I've swing traded in the past and profitably. It's not something that I usually, and this is just a personal thing, usually when we get the CNBC pump, if you're going to sell a stock, to me, sometimes that's the time to sell it. In my opinion, what we're seeing right now is yesterday's CNBC pump coming through, since we're not seeing that continuation of a market crash today, which is good. Now, it could sustain. We'll see. OCGN, also biotech news, very excited. This is now skyrocketing even more than Fisker. Had that same about 11 o'clock dip. Not really sure why the market had its sort of softness around 11 today. But this one's really rallying into the close, which is really exciting. This is actually a stock I last swing traded when it was like $11.30, up to 18. Went back down to 14, sold it when it went to like 15.50. I'm like, momentum slowing, I'm out. And that was great. But wow, 40% today from I think what it opened for, like 7 something. The low today at least was 762, and now we're over $10 over at OCGN. So really nice momentum here. Keep in mind, I personally am willing to hold a trade from like a Thursday to a Friday. I generally won't hold a trade from a Friday to a Monday. And this is very important for those of you GameStoppers too. GameStop, GameStop's down 3% right now. The thing about GameStop, I want to pull up what I got. Where's my thing? So the thing about GameStop is last time we had a big sell-off at GameStop, one of the times we really started seeing that sell-off begin happening was from Friday to Monday. It's Friday to Monday. On Monday, it opened up okay, but then within a few hours, it started tanking. And then literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was just tank, 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 tank. So keep that in mind. That's obviously a little bit of a potential problem. Okay, so what do we have here? Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually sold off a little bit again today. Take a look at this. It's been virtually straight down today. That's not true. Hold on. Where's the beginning of the day? There really is no beginning of the day because it just feels like it's always trading. Okay, it's sort of a little up and then down. Got it. That's what we'll call it. All right. What else is happening in the broader market? So OCG and Fisker obviously doing well. Sorry about that. So those doing very well. Groupon. See, a lot of those that beat earnings over the last few days, they're coming back and they're saying, hey, let's get back. Let's show us the gains. Let's show the gains that we should be having. And so not a surprise that we're seeing Groupon, which destroyed earnings. I mean, we watched it close yesterday. Smashingly smashed earnings. Airbnb, same thing. Whew, so impressive. Etsy, very impressive. Wayfair was actually the day before. They're really showing their cards now because of that sell-off yesterday. Rocket coming in hot with their dividend. Enphase up 5% again, going back over, slowly getting back to 780. We've got, let's see here. Speaking of Enphase, I have, one sec. Okay, there we go. Oh, and that also reminds me, I totally forgot to put the coupon code in again. Get 30%, 38% off with code. I like the code a lot with code HODL. Stocks, money, private streams, access, business strategies, buy sell alerts, etc. Okay, there we go. And free lifetime add-ons. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see. Buy AMC before the close today. Robbie says buy AMC before the close today. I don't know. I get nervous running into the close buying these for the hold. But I'll tell you, OCGN, just in the time that we're sitting here, this is cranking. It is rolling the money printer right now. It's crazy. A lot of enthusiasm going into this. Just keep in mind, sometimes going right into the close, we could see some profit taking in the last 20 minutes. We'll see. No one knows, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to AMC. And then let's also listen to this just for one moment here. Let's see what we got here. There we go. I got to turn the volume up.
Or they choose to come to one of our stores, it's still a mixed bag, right? During the year, 27.4% of our business was done digitally, and that was with
nothing here. Okay, well, John, let's see what we got over here.
Clean car, and quite frankly, you buy any gasoline car today, it probably have a really terrible resale value in 4 or 5 years from now. While buying our cars can have state of the art, technology. So that's the difference.
Interesting point. Lithium batteries are key here. And now that you see scaling up on behalf of companies from Tesla to NIO and now CCIV, Churchill is trying to bring the Lucid into reality at some point. Where do you source your lithium ion batteries? And are you worried about a shortage? We keep talking about a shortage in semiconductors, but at some point we're going to see a shortage.
Dude, they're so far away from production. They got years.
Perhaps sooner or later with the lithium ion batteries.
No, I'm not worried at all. I mean, we already nominated our lithium-ion battery cell supplier. We have known them for a long time. And what's happened in the industry, Liz...
By the way, this is going to pump the stock anytime this guy goes on.
Over some of the traditional car makers launched electric cars, and they never hit the sales goals. So the truth is that the battery manufacturing actually geared up for more batteries, electric vehicles to come to market much more successfully. So I think they have kind of pulled back a bit and are probably really picking and choosing who they want to work with. And I think we have shown to our battery supplier, which by the way is one of the 5 largest in the world, that we have a solid business model. We have over 12,000 orders. We are building our first car with Magna. Magna is known for making high quality cars, some of the best high quality cars in the world. They launch on time, they're in charge of quality, they ramp up fast. So that takes a lot of the risk out. If I was telling our battery supply, hey, we're going to make a factory in the desert and hire some people who've never built a car before, I think they'd be very worried because they wouldn't be sure if I was going to be able to crank out cars from the get-go in the same high quality as a normal car that are sold today.
Henrik, as we are speaking, your stock hit a 52-week high, or a session high rather, Yep. Could very well be 52-week high because you guys are popping 33 bucks right now, 33% or $7. Yeah, let me look. Okay, intraday. Yeah, it's actually at session highs. Good to see you, Henrik. Hey, listen, we're cheering on all innovation here in the U.S., so we'll be watching it. Thank you so much.
It's amazing how much they can pump a stock when they go on CNBC or Fox Biz. I mean, it's great if you're investing in it and you're trading it. I mean, that's money right there. Now you've got double hype. You literally have CNBC yesterday with Mad Money, and now you got Fox. I mean, that's like, now you're hitting peak media. That's freaking awesome, though. Good for you. A little bit of a red candlestick developing now after the show's over here. OCGN is not. I mean, it had a little red here, but who cares? Who cares when you're up with this kind of volume? The volume is insane on this. This is smashing volume. I don't know. I mean, I believe there must have been some form of an announcement over here. It looks like the volume really began around 9 a.m. Pacific time today. Let's just, does anybody know or have an article on OCGN? Yeah, and the Fisker upgrade by Morgan Stanley. I did see that too. Let's see here. OCGN doc. We'll just pop that in. So we're looking for something from like 9 a.m. So 8 hours ago for its COVID vaccine. Well, that's not 8 hours ago, or 3 hours ago, three and a half hours ago. I don't know. Something led this, 3.5 hours ago to really blow up, and it's doing very well. So whoever's in it or was holding it, this is great. This is congratulations. Let's see what's losing though, because right now we're spending a lot of time just focusing on these two. I do want to look at I want to look at obviously Tesla, some of these other stocks as well. GameStop unfortunately down 4% right now. Now, keep this in mind, and we mentioned this on the earlier stream too. We have now consistently been stair-stepping down on the stock. If I go to the 5-minute, actually shows it really well. We could see the bump, or the pump, I should say. We're over the range of 140 to 160, really flying high here. We close into our top box. We get a temporary run up. This is yesterday. We go back into our top box. And after hours, we fall into and below our low box. This morning, we spend almost the entire open respecting the boxes. Right here, we try to break out, don't break out, fall right back to the low box, and then now we can't even stay within a box anymore. That's not good, especially Friday to Monday. Now, who knows? You never know. It could soar again on Monday, right? But at $102, hey, if you got in at $40 and you're like, hey man, at 2.5x, I don't know that I want to hold it over the weekend. Nobody's gonna blame you for taking some tendies. Take your tendies. I got some tendies. Lauren made some tendies today. We got tendies. Tendies are good. So, Nikola, I don't know that we even have to really talk about Nikola. It's like Nikola's going down. I feel like that's kind of like, okay, so it's kind of like, what do they say? Do bears poop in the woods? Like, so? Sorry, I know that's rough on Nikola, but I don't know that many of us love Nikola after what happened. SOS, for some reason, having this, I think they actually had another Hindenburg, or I don't know, it could have been the first one, but there was a Hindenburg report that definitely slammed this one down. It led to a lot of selling volume here, a lot of relative selling volume, and very, very high amount of volume here. Trying to recover, but also selling off on that recovery here a little bit. One thing to keep in mind about SOS is SOS was a pretty popular swing trade, but I don't know that it is anymore. And so keep that in mind when we kind of let's go back to the 1 hour. See, we've had this really strong run up for quite a while here. We had a good week of a run here, a 1 week run. That's really when this rallied. And since then, it's really just been deflating as its media attention really slips by the wayside. And that's very common when we get those up cycles that we never really hit those peaks again. And we unfortunately can keep deflating. And look, I mean, unfortunately, the same could be true of here. I think it's going to be easier if we go to hour. Could be true also of GameStop. Let's just zoom out a bit here. See, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this crazy chart right here of volatility and craziness. Compare what we have now to that. I mean, you can't even compare it. We're nowhere near the same euphoria that there was around GameStop. So, That's what it is, I suppose. Groupon is actually rallying into the close with 13 minutes to go before the close. We've got some massive buy orders apparently coming in here. Some incredible candlesticks with massive volume out of nowhere. This could be some funds buying. Hold on, let's zoom that in a little bit more appropriately. There we go. This is a little more appropriate. Yeah, there we go. Here's our volume. All of a sudden, a spike in volume right here of about 4x the volume. Could be even closer to 10x the volume. Volume on Groupon has not been very high. Fisker's holding firm at about 34% up. This is incredible. I mean, this is a very, very strong, sustained rally. How's our volume looking? We've got volume came in very strong. I don't know what happened at around 9:30 California time. I'm sorry, that's 8:30 California time. Something at Fisker really made, I think people realized, like, I think this was around the time where we're like, okay, the market's not going to go free fall crash again. Let's go back into Fisker, because this was the play, before the Thursday crash. Like Wednesday, this thing was flying. This thing was printing tendies. Thursday gave all of it away. And right now it's really just coming back to pick up its tendies again. Let's see what this update is.
Ahead of tonight's vote on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. That, of course, is the $1.9 trillion Biden coronavirus stimulus plan. It includes the language on that $15 an hour minimum wage, something that will not be included when it gets to the Senate after passage later tonight due to parliamentary hoo-ha, right? Let's bring in Larry Kudlow, the host of Kudlow. So what happens? What do you predict, Larry, when it...
She butchered that one on parliamentarian. I feel bad. Live TV, but hey, happens to everyone. Larry Kudlow's got his own show on here now.
Yes. I don't really want it to pass, or I'd like to have a much different bill. By the way, we have Republican leader Kevin McCarthy on, so he'll comment tonight about the House activity. I don't know why the speaker. Look, the parliamentarian ruled, that's it. It's all over. If they want to do minimum wage, they're going to have a separate piece of legislation to do it. So we'll see about that. You know, Liz, I looked.
Larry, you ain't in office anymore. You ain't the national director or the director of the National Economic Council anymore. That's Brian Deese now. So, sorry, man. You don't get to determine whether you like the bill or not. All right. So, we're CCIV. So, CCIVs are, this has been the most painful week for CCIV. It is rallying somewhat into the close here, or it's trying to. It certainly broke out of our box today. We had this thing boxed almost all day. It was either in our lower bound or our upper bound. And we are slowly moving back. I will say options imply a price of Churchill Capital between 35 and 40, in my opinion, the way I'm reading it. And that would be within the next month. I also believe that once this company gets close to delivering their first vehicles, when they start getting their first cars off the facility line, whether that's 50 in September and 80 in the next month, and who knows, 200 in the next month, right? And they start getting those vehicles out. That's when you could have a nice rally again, unless there's some additional news that comes out at CCIV to really push CCIV again. So I'm excited as a holder on it. I'm not antsy to leave it. We do have Fisker though. It's still sustaining its rally here. And again, I think this could be a valuation comparison to CCIV, where the market is realizing, wait a minute, CCIV is trading so well. Why not Fisker? Now, again, Fisker about 2 years behind CCIV. So you've got a little bit to consider in terms of how long you're going to have to wait on Fisker. You won't have as many, production catalysts in the next, for example, 6 months as CCIV should. So we'll see. CCIV being lucid, of course. Okay, Airbnb pushing into close. How's everything else doing? We've got another 8 minutes to go in closing here. So if you have any options that you want to buy or close out, now's the time to do it. Because if you don't close it out now, well, you're going to be sitting on them over the whole weekend. But let's look at how Tesla and everything else is doing. And we got 8 minutes to close. We'll also see what we've got for earnings. Okay, so going down the chart. Let's start at the bottom. At the bottom today, we've got Workhorse suffering the most. The most pain over at Workhorse here. We're down 14.3%. Where is NIO? That is a good question. Let's pull up NIO and Tesla individually here. NIO's actually positive on the day. hitting a low of, well, it actually hit a low of, I think it was 44.70. There it is, 44.62. That's when we bought an option, sent out an alert for that option. Remember, every time I buy or sell, you get an alert if you are in the Stocks and Psychology Money group. We've got Tesla is actually a little flat today. Tesla Neo really trading flat right here at that 684 figure. Remember, Tesla tends to run in those 21-day cycles. You've got Palantir very, very, very low, sitting at $24 a share. That looks a little juicy, honestly, from the point of view of adding options. So, like, if I were to add a call on something right now, Neo, Palantir, some juice in them. Tesla's red candle sticking right now. All right, and we got Microvision 7%, Salesforce 5%, GameStop right here. Oh, GameStop. GameStop, it kind of selling off into the close here, folks. And this is a concern as people do not want to hold this into the weekend. My guess, solely because of what happened the last time. You go back to the chart and you'll see that weekend move. Let's listen in for a moment here what CNBC has to say.
Streaming options from Apple to AT&T to Discovery, all piling into the streaming world in an attempt to take on Netflix. Netflix's co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, joined CNBC earlier today, discussed whether the rise in new rival changes Netflix's own strategy. Listen.
We entered original programming anticipating that this day was coming. I'm a little surprised that it took so long, but we always anticipated that there would be a such thing as a Disney direct-to-consumer product, a Warner or HBO direct-to-consumer product, a Paramount direct-to-consumer product, and that those folks would not want to make their programming for Netflix for too long.
Sure. Okay, well, let's go ahead and look at the earnings calendar here too, because we do have earnings potentially today. Let's see what's reporting today. Oh wow, like nothing today. No, hold on. Oh, that's aftermarket. Oh no, wow, 2 things. That's interesting. So we really don't have earnings today. It's kind of a boring earnings day. Earnings calendar for Friday: Service Properties Trust and Coke. That's it. And they're reporting late. They have a note here at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for reporting. Oh, wow. Oh, Warren Buffett will be paying attention, that's for sure. Warren Buffett and Coke. Gotta have his Coke. Yeah, all right, what else here? See, here's in my opinion, this is very much like a Fisker right here, PSAC. And it's selling for maybe a 40% premium over that $10 SPAC, but pretty left in the dark right now. Faraday Futures. So then we've got Planet. Okay, well, the cannabis selling off, not a surprise. Gevo, a little surprising to see Gevo just continue to sell off. I really think this is like a next decade stock, though. You know, right there with like the plug, the hydrogen plays, the biofuel plays. I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, look at. Just ask yourself how the United States just canned Workhorse on battery electric. Like, we're already there with battery electric on consumer vehicles. Want to go commercial? Man, that Workhorse contract really shows us the issue we've got ahead of us. It's really got to prove itself to be extremely profitable. That cost parity has to be there, meet or exceed the gas vehicles. And I think that's one of the reasons the government just did not go with Workhorses. They still think that they can save some money, save a few Benjis by going with gas vehicles. My take. All right. Somebody says AMC and Apple are taking dumps. Okay. Let's take a look here. Let's type in the ticker here. AAPL. Apple. Oh my gosh. Look at the sell-off into the close here. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what do we got here? This is let's rectangle this. Just to understand, from a low to here, yeah, all of a sudden like a 1.9% drop here. But it's certainly substantial relative to what it's been doing in the rest of the day. Let's see here. AMC, on the other hand. AMC, yeah, red candle sticking as well. This could be a sell-off into the close here. Ocugen still doing well. Still trying to pump into the close. Impressive. It's really trying to pump it up. Fisker, a little tentative into the close. We'll see what happens here. Airbnb shaved off a bit into the close. Wayfair, Etsy seem to have Wayfair's still going. Okay, Etsy, all right. Plug, good. Churchill, how are we doing here? Churchill just kind of flat into the close. Enphase, a little bit of a rally into the close. We got Upwork, 4.84%. Upwork actually getting a little bit of love. That's incredible. We got Peloton moving into the close as well with a little bit, I mean, at least for green. GHVI, Matterport, of course, here. Matterport going to close somewhere around 1750. Relatively good opportunity, in my opinion, to get into something like that. Cloudflare, Ebex, slowly coming back. Domino's, Fastly, Pinterest, all green right now. Spirit Air, XBI. The market's just trying to go green right now, although the Dow's down 1%. S&P's down 0.1%. NASDAQ and Russell up. NASDAQ doing the best today, but that's because of the big sell-offs that we've had in tech. So, yeah, let's see here. Last 2 minutes. Rocket Mortgage, yeah, I mean, good, but I think they're getting pumped off the dividend right now. And really, I mean, this opened up 20%, and now it's only up 10. It just doesn't get a lot of love in the market. Doesn't matter how great of a company they are. They just don't get love in the market. It's just not the industry that people care about right now. And that matters. GameStop, 7% now. GameStop, do we even have a support level for GameStop right now? I think we do. 97, 100. Oh, no. Yeah, here's a sell into the close. Last 60 seconds, folks. We could rally in the after hours. Sometimes when we see these sells into the close, we do end up rallying into the after hours. It looks like CNBC is reporting stocks lose steam into the close. This is true. This is kind of what we're seeing on everything here. Woo! All right. Another 35 seconds here, and then we're done. We're waking up the next 2 days with no stock market to look at. We're not going to know what to do with ourselves. We're probably just going to sleep in or play video games or something. I mean, like, we basically, we're like headless chickens on the weekend, I feel like. Fisker is still rallying into the close. 15 seconds to go. Airbnb holding. Etsy holding. Churchill Capital holding. It's got a little bit of a red here. We're holding. Let's watch GameStop as the bell rings. Well,
now it's up about 0.6%, though losing a bit of steam here into the close. For the week, the Nasdaq down more than 4%. Worst week for the tech-heavy index since back in October. Small caps eke out a gain at the close, but again, loss of momentum, down 2.5% for the week. And the S&P 500 closes down 17 points, about 0.5%, which does make it down almost 2% for the week, second down week in a row. Wilfred.
Yeah,
that's a wrap.
NASDAQ down almost 5%, in fact, for the week, just slipping an extra 20, 30 basis points.
All right, so here we go. Here's that after-hours green candlestick coming back on GameStop. We see that consistently. We see a sell-off into the close, and then we see the green candlestick right in the after-hours. It's just a regular move that GameStop does. The after-hours people, the after-hours traders love this. Maybe this has to do with options expirations as well. A lot of potential explanations here. Let's go ahead and grab our after hours here. We got a big candlestick here on GameStop. Look at that surge on GameStop. We are now up 8%, 9% of the after hours. We're going to 10%. Do we see 11? We might. This is, there we go. First, look at that gap we got. My goodness. We got our first move here to the downside. So we got some big executions there into the close. What else do we have going on into the close? That's the only one that's really running here into the close. We've got red at Neo, Fisker, Redfin, Tilray, DoorDash, Li Auto, Enphase, Churchill with a red candle into the close. Let's see what we got. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Really tight candles here. There we go. Yeah, volume plummets into the close. All right, let's look at GameStop again. Woo! And we don't have earnings to report today, so it's a little slower. Ooh, big fight here on these candlesticks. Not so fun. Big fight here. Moving back down a little bit again. What's AMC doing? Is AMC doing it as well? Yeah, AMC costs. Here's your retail trade coming in hot. Canoe at $13. My gosh, it feels like a bargain. Let's see. Let's look at what they got. What Kudlow's got to say.
Intimidating, and they did influence Clinton's economic policies.
So get to today.
Interesting. We've had this little bond vigilante revolt. And again,
Yes, sir.
seemingly about too much government spending and a threat of future inflation. Now, look, it's only 50 basis points. I don't want to jump off a cliff with this, but let's hang on to the idea of bond market vigilantes. Let's give Ed Yardeni some kudos. We'll have him on the show next week. This business about bond market warnings may appear a few times in the many months ahead. Now, I want to talk last about the V-shaped recovery. More economic numbers today. Personal income soaring. Did you see that? A saving rate of 21%. Consumers.
Dude, Kudlow and the V-shaped recovery. He's still talking about it even after being out of office.
On retail sales, manufacturing production, housing, business equipment spending. The vaccines are pouring in. We are headed.
All right. Nice intro monologue there. But look at this here. Express, folks. Woo! What a run on Express. What a run on Oh, it just evaporated. It literally just evaporated before our eyes. Well, that was anticlimactic. Oh, and it's back. Must just be really low volume. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, so GameStop. Look at those. I'm telling you, the minute after close, like, I don't know. It's one of the reasons I don't trade in the after hours. It's so. Come on, man. We get a rally into the close. We get a slight sell-off going into the close. At the close, we get a big rally. And the moment the closing is over, that first minute is over, boom. What the heck? NEO going to $45. NEO selling off in the after hours here. Folks, earnings Monday on NEO. NEO at 45 is a very juicy stock, in my opinion. That's a nice buy in my opinion here. Fisker giving up a little bit of its momentum here. I think it's just because volume has plummeted, down about 2%. Churchill about 1% as in terms of the downs. Oh gosh, let's see what else we got here. Let's listen to this. Okay, sometimes he has good insights. Actually, he has not spoken with Biden yet. By the way, Kevin McCarthy, leader of the House Minority Party. Let's listen.
Get 95% of it in this fiscal year. 2/3 of it doesn't happen until 2023. Too much waste, too much payoffs. And so you're 100% right, but the numbers are showing it. The work that we did before that was bipartisan got us through. It's beginning to grow out of it. The vaccines are working. We're opening states back up, even in the blue states like California. It may have took a recall of Gavin Newsom to do it, but we're right about making that happen. What we really need to focus on, back to work, back to school, back to health, not this frivolous other stuff.
You know, It's so disappointing in a way, Kevin. I mean, maybe I don't want to be naive, but it's still disappointing because the first two packages last year were bipartisan. The first one, way back during the height of the crisis last winter, about a year ago, that was important bipartisanship. You were a key player in that. Now, I heard the words, but I didn't see any actions. This bill, I looked at some of the numbers inside this bill. To help vaccines and help short-term unemployment and some other things in healthcare, you could have done this for $400 or $500 billion. That's all, not 1.9 trillion. $400 or $500 billion. You could have had a bipartisan majority. It's a lost opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a real change as new administration.
I mean, now what they're really doing is they're slamming Biden, and I'm not here to take sides. I just don't care. Like, if they're going to provide information, I'll listen. But once they start getting into the, this is supposed to be bipartisan, don't you think? Time to change the channel. Like, seriously, it's kind of like when the other people, like, you go on CNN and they're like, okay, here are the facts. Don't you think it's unfair that the Republicans are demanding that this be unpartisan? Change. Okay, don't care. Okay. So back to the sticks here. GameStop struggling around this 2% here, trying to get some movement here. Let's see what we could do. Is there anything that maybe we can get as an opportunity in after hours? Sometimes there can be buy opportunities in after hours. So I want to look at NEO and Tesla again, as well as some others here. Let's see here. By the way, just got a notification. Looks like NASDAQ ends the week. Ends Friday session lower. Weekly loss on the NASDAQ of 4.9% this week. Dow falls 475 on Friday to close out losing weekend month. Wow. Did the Dow lose this month? I mean, it may have with how much we fell. Let's look at that really quick. Sometimes the easiest way to just pull this up, again, Google. It's not like the most, that's not professional. I don't care. It works. Okay, let's go to Feb. Opening day in Feb was Feb 1. So the Dow actually went up 2.38% in Feb here. The S&P, let's see how they did. It's always interesting to look at this. So let's go back to the 6 month. Okay, let's go to Feb 1 here. Feb 1 up 0.99%. So I mean, they didn't necessarily lose in Feb. We just had a real fall here. And I mean, when we look at this in the context of even just the last 6 months, I mean, like, this happens, right? These falls here. So we had a similar amount of pain after the craziness with January 28th in GameStop. So, maybe not so terribly unexpected here to see a little bit of a down. Do we think this is going to be a massive correction like what we saw in September, where we really had just a bloody month? I don't think so. I'm glad I bought yesterday. I didn't buy as much as I wanted to, but it's not like I would go back and have bought more if I could, because I'm out of money. So nothing would have changed. So I bought what I was willing to buy yesterday. I'm happy I bought. Never squander a red day. Very, very, very important. So NEO, look at NEO approaching 45 again. To 45, if we fall below 45, that for me, I might add to that. I feel like NEO might get a lot of enthusiasm. And who knows, they might not. But they could get enthusiasm after Monday. The reason for that is when you have a Fisker run like this, and then people start researching and realizing, wait a minute, Fisker's got, 2 years to go before it even starts production. Why not invest some money into a company that's already producing cars and is actually selling? And I mean, the same slam could be had for Lucid, Churchill, but Churchill's closer. They're looking at beginning deliveries at the end of this year, whereas we're looking at starting production in 2023 over at Fisker. So we'll see. Let's see. IDEX. I don't even know what that is. IDEX. Ideanomics. No freaking clue. No clue. What's OCGN doing? Let's take a peek at that. OCGN, I've got them under here. I haven't seen them at the top or bottom, so they could just be flat. Yeah, they're pretty flat. 0.64% right now, 0.5%. So no major rally here in the after hours. I don't think anything is really. Let's see. SEC. Yeah, I don't know what that is about. Somebody says there were some suspensions of stocks, but GameStop isn't one of them. Thank you for that comment. I don't have a way of copy and pasting that right now. Sorry about that. So let's see. Matterport stable in the after hours here. No like major movement here in the after hours with the exception of NEO. Okay, Ocugen is down about 1.8 right now. So maybe some profit taking over at Ocugen. Personally, I don't know that I would want to carry these things into Monday. If I've got some good profits on Ocugen and some good profits on Fisker, it's okay to take some money off the Vegas table, as we say. The shift reports on the 8th of March, which is in about a week and a half. So what do we got? SOS actually now booming in the after hours. Despite selling off here into the close, it's booming again into the after hours. Very low volume. So that could be leading to some of these fluctuations. GameStop is trying to push. Here we go. Trying to push. Okay, let's listen to this person talk about rates and bonds. It's usually a pretty important topic for us to pay attention to.
Massive stop losses there. And so it's a sharp reversal. It happened very quickly. It kind of normalized a bit. Then we had massive volatility in the afternoon as people were trying to digest what was going on. But I think what I've heard from some of your guests earlier today, I really agree with. Last year, this was all about repricing inflation. And so what you saw there was the break-even spreads with the bonds measured inflation that were pushing yields back up. But we've seen in the last couple of weeks, now the bond market and the treasury market is starting to believe in the real growth story. That is, real yields are pushing up. And I just think there was something kind of a haywire with essentially that stop loss trading there. And you're seeing the reversal today. I mean, the bond market has been oversold. When I'm saying the bond market, I'm talking about treasuries here. If you look at relative strength in those indices, they've been...
That's interesting. We could try to pull up the RSI on the bond market, because the more oversold it is, the higher yields go. Interesting argument
here. But I think the story here continues to be that we are on a march higher in yields, and we know that nothing moves in a straight line. There's a lot of volatility here. People didn't think the 10-year would go above 120, 125. They were questioning the Fed, whether they do yield curve control and step in here. And the Fed's committed not to do that at this point. So I think we have a continued rise. We see fair value on the 10-year being north of 2. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next month. But it is likely to happen through the course of the year. So I think the volatility is there. It's just people are trying to react all of a sudden. And we hadn't seen any volatility really in the treasury market prior to that.
Good explainer there. So, David, if Jeff is right and we're going to continue to see rising yields up to 2% on the 10-year or even higher, which a lot of people do think is happening, the consensus would say that could be tricky for stocks, especially tech valuations. But you say not so fast. What's the link?
Well, Sarah, you've talked about it, and I think your guests have talked about it. Certainly higher rates, the textbook story is your discounted cash flow models, your risk premium models all suggest stocks need to readjust a little bit lower to the bond market having been cheaper. I mean, it's a comparable asset. So you have the choice of being stocks or bonds. But one of the things we've highlighted to our customers and clients over the last week or so is this idea that coming off of the zero bound is very different. We really took the entire treasury market up to 10 years out of the equation. It was 50 basis points or less a year ago, or 11 months ago. And so a lot of portfolios that use treasuries to hedge, equity portfolios, basically had to shut down the risk parity world. And when yields come back up, a lot of those can re-engage. And Sarah, even the 60-40 mom and pop traditional portfolio of stocks and bonds, the bonds didn't do anything for you. You had nothing there. You had no protection. And now all of a sudden you can buy a bond and get some protection in equity downdrafts. That's a very...
Yeah, so in other words, a reason to buy some bonds. We touched on this yesterday. Let's check this out. So Roaring Kitty has a tweet here. It's lays down a monster. Okay. Any theories, folks? Any theories on this one? 6 minutes ago. I don't know what it is with this. The speaking in GIFs. It's kind of like Roaring Kitty and Ryan, Chewy co-founder, in the same wavelength here with the GIF game, which some people say GIF. I think that's almost like a 50-50 split. Rounders. Yeah, see, GIF or GIF. No, GIF or GIF. Everyone says it different. Post on Wall Street. Can somebody link the Wall Street bets to me? I'll have Discord open. Someone can link the Wall Street bets. That'd be great. Tag me. Okay, Ocugen down. It's from somebody says it's from the film Rounders. He's calling their bluff. Nice. Okay. Maybe a movie I gotta watch. Thank you for that. And thank you. Wow, you all fast. Thank you for the update. The Wall Street post here. The Reddit Wall Street Bets post from Deep F and Value. So fast. Thank you, course members. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have GameStop. Same positions. 10,000 shares. A value of now $10 million. Oh my gosh. The April calls are down today, about 416K. So about $1 million loss today, but the entire portfolio is about 26 mil with 11.8 in cash. Really, really incredible. Wow, what a nice portfolio there. Nice run. Jeez, he's still in it. Still in it. Who knows? Is that going to juice returns right now? Let's see. Let's see what GME is doing right now. GME. GME 4%. Slowly recovering here. Well, the G in GIF is for graphics. So maybe GIF, huh? You know what we should do? I know this is so hotly debated. We should do a poll. And then let's get back to the sticks. Let's do a quick Twitter poll. So if you got your Twitter, pull up your Twitter. I want to know. I'm going to run a poll right now. We should do it right here. Let's do a tweet. Is GIF pronounced? How would I say this? GIF or GIF? How would I even type the difference? GIF, GIF, oh, with a J. So this could be GIF like Jeff, or GIF. GIF or GIF. Okay, we could go with that. GIF or GIF. J and G. Okay, good. It's like gift. Gift, like gift, and GIF, like Jiffy. GIF, gift. I like that. Okay. Is GIF pronounced? Hot debate. All right. I tweeted it. Oh, do some votes, and we'll find out what how everyone votes. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, one sec. Let's see here. Sorry, one second here. And I want to get back to the sticks. I want to see what kind of after hours plays there might be. Okay. So getting back to the sticks here. So GameStop, I mean, it's not really reacting like insanely well on the news that Roaring's still holding. So I don't know. SOS. Let's see, AMC. I mean, there's not a lot of enthusiasm that I can see right now in the after hours here. Cost. I mean, this is very nominal. I mean, this is just like if we had typical candlesticks into the close here, it'd be the same thing. But I'm not really seeing both the up and down. I'm not really seeing big movement here. Really, just it looks like we're going into just a soft, boring end to this week. Which honestly, I mean, look, I'll take boring after what we had, but this was a rough one. This was a rough week. Hopefully, you added this week. That's the big thing. I'm hoping you added this week. As painful as it was, the last thing you want to do is sell into this kind of madness. Let's go look at RK really quick. How did they do this week? They're actually still trading in after hours. The easiest way to actually look at this, as usual, is go to, well, let's see how you all have voted really quick too. Let's see the votes. Wow, that's not even close to 50-50. Nobody likes Jiffy. Everybody likes Giphy. GIF. Wow, that's a big spread. I don't know. This could balance out though. We almost got 1,337 votes, so we'll see. Okay, let's go. Let's go to ARK-K. No, not Yahoo. I'll tell you, Google, best chart for just a simple quick look. Best chart right here, hands down. Yeah, that's a nice sell-off. I mean, from February 19th, this has been a 14.5% decline over at the ARK-K. ARK-G for genomics has, since Feb 19th, shaved about 13%. ARK-W over the last month, well, since Feb 19th, also 13%. Yikes. I mean, Tesla's done worse than that. Let's look at Tesla stock from the 19th, although it's been declining a little bit longer, also 13%. So you kind of see the ARK returns there on the 13%. Whereas over the 6 months, we've really come down those highs that we've seen. February has just been a rough month for Tesla, shaving about 22% off on a Tesla. Yeah. All right, going back. Let's see what else is going on. We've got after hours. Nope. Nothing juicy right now. It's like the ones who are running Ocugen's selling off a little bit. We've got Fisker down about 1%. That's not bad. If Fisker can open stable, not bad at all. Let's see. Somebody just, what's the super chat here? What is this? Here it is. $99. Oh my gosh. Essential hard worker. You've been a supporter here for a while. Thank you for that. I got 877 shares of what? Of what is gone? I think it closed over 8, which is supposed to start a Gamma Squeeze. Are you talking about, can I be eating some major attendees next week? Are you talking about AMC? I feel like he's talking, that's AMC, right? I mean, the pricing of the Gamma Squeeze stock kind of screams AMC here. Yeah, so AMC is right at $8 now. And so you're in at 881. Yeah, that's AMC. It depends. It depends. Look, let's, the short interest on AMC did tick up a little bit, but it's still like 14, 15%. It's not massive. GameStop's is higher at around, I think we're at 39 to 40% now. Let's see. Bill Ackman live on Twitter Space. I've never actually even tried Twitter Spaces. I'll try that. Yeah, that's a shot in the dark. It's tough to say because we get this euphoria comes in waves, right? I hope next week AMC and even GameStop kill it, but we'll see. So how I have no idea how to get to Twitter Spaces. Does anybody know how to do that? Somebody says Twitter Spaces. Bill, I don't even know why. What do we care? Somebody tell me how to get to Spaces. I've never been there. Maybe I could Google it. Twitter Spaces. We could try that. Okay. Where do I go? Does anybody know? You got to do it on your. Oh, you got to do it on your phone. What is it? Another app? Spaces. I don't know. So this is really like a Clubhouse competitor. It's not Space, right? It's got to be Spaces. We'll figure it out. Anywho, let's listen to this for a second. No, we don't want to talk about CPAC and cancel culture and the future of the GOP. Let's see what CNBC is saying at the closing bell here. Let's listen to this.
Interesting note, Mike, thanks.
Yep.
Up next, Affirm CEO Max Levchin joins us exclusively to discuss the company's new buy now, pay later debit card. Plus,
Affirm
eating up the competition. Coming up, we will tell you which fast food stock is getting a big upgrade because of a bullish outlook for breakfast. And as we head to break, here's a look at some of the NASDAQ's biggest winners and losers for the month of February.
I actually have no idea how to get Spaces on my phone. Is it just not available on the iPhone? Like, I feel like an idiot. Twitter Spaces, nothing comes up. Spaces doesn't come up. Somebody says I've never watched Rounders. Yeah, never seen Rounders. So, all right. Let's see. Let's go back to the sticks for a moment here. All right. Let's see here. So, in the after hours, flat. Look at that. GameStop flat after the deep F and value update here. No real movement here. Disney sitting at 190. No real movement here. Seriously, I got the Twitter app, but I can't find Spaces. Oh no. Ocugen selling off a little bit here into the after hours. Not a surprise for something that rallied 40% to be, or 36% to be selling off a bit right now. Yeah. It's the app at the top. It's in the app at the top. Oh, you mean it's not a separate app? It's in Twitter itself is what you're saying. Oh. Okay. It's combined with stories, so I probably have to follow the guy. Yeah, I could even get that audio up if we can. Yeah. They shouldn't make it so complicated. Like, I don't feel like a boomer, but it's making me feel like a boomer. Here. I will pull it up. Oh, you got to update the app. This is annoying. I'll try. I'll see. Make sure there's no update available. I mean, I'd love to love to see what he has to say, but apps. I don't think it's worth it right now. I'm pretty sure my apps are updated. Okay, here. Someone else tell me what I'm missing. Let's see. Is it this one? No, this one. Here we go. So where's the spaces? I know it's not down here. We got, these little things over here. I don't see no spaces. And then if I go to Bill Ackman, I don't see him either. So I don't know. Call me crazy. But they don't make it very easy. They don't make it easy at all. All right. What does CNBC have to say?
Time benefits with no late fees and will be broadly available later this year. And Affirm CEO Max Levchin joins us now in an exclusive interview. Max, thanks for joining us.
This should be interesting. Affirm.
Thank you for having me.
I was joking earlier, but only slightly joking as to whether this, in fact, should be called a credit card, not a debit card, given that, of course, it will be a delaying payment from the consumer.
No, it should not be called a credit card for sure, in part because it's sort of the anti-credit card. I don't mean to be provocative, but the idea of credit cards, fundamentally, it's to get you to spend, get into debt, and stay in debt. You will not know when you're done paying off any specific purchase. You're not really sure exactly how much interest you're going to pay, and you should absolutely expect late fees if you will miss payment. And literally every single one of these things is the exact opposite for a firm's card. That is, exactly what you're going to pay, exactly what the schedule of repayment is, and there'll be no late fees under any circumstances. So I think it's sort of the exact opposite in many ways. It does serve the same purpose. You get to pay for things right now or over time.
The other thing that kind of jumped to mind that sort of perhaps is the exact opposite to what your company's been all about is whether the idea of a card is a little bit dated rather than forward thinking like the rest of the business. And with that in mind, my question is whether you think this will be a temporary thing that you'll have to offer until the world slowly but surely transforms to digital payments as the norm.
So I don't really know how long the card as a form factor will be with us, but I do think it's extraordinarily elegant. And majority of the offline world, certainly in the US, still transacts with plastic and chips these days. So I think it's important to meet the customer where they are. I do know that our user base, primarily millennials and Gen Zers, love their debit cards. They love to transact with them offline. And the purpose of this product was to bring buy now, pay later functionality that they have really loved online and really offline as well with us, but have never had in a card to where they are, and in particular embedded inside their daily, everyday spend tool. And so the debit card form factor is a metaphor for everyday spend. That's what we're trying to get to.
Max, the theme of the week has been rising treasury yields, rising rates, basically. And I'm wondering what a change in the lending environment would mean for your business and for default rates and interest rates, ultimately.
So, it's always hard to make forward-looking statements now that I'm a freshly minted public company CEO. So can't speculate about the future too much. You can see in our last quarterly earnings that we've been able to maintain excellent growth while keeping historically low default rates. In terms of interest rates, it's a huge component of what I think about every day, because as a non-bank lender or transactor, we have to care about such things. It's something that we follow carefully. We do have lots and lots of levers to adjust our business in near real time as interest rates come up and down. Most important is our proprietary underwriting engine. We, of course, know how to and hedge rates if we need to. So I'm not too concerned with the interest rates, but it's something that I keep a very careful eye on.
When you see rates rise and then the economy bounce back, is that something that you think will play into your business model more than traditional ways of spending?
Within that story, the primary signal that I care about is the return of the country. I think we're all kind of holding our breath a little bit to see.
Okay, getting into politics. All right, so let's see what's going on in after hours here. Really, just a lot of the same. We've got the Fisker, Ocugen, GameStop now negative. That's not good. This is not a good trend. We've got a downtrend on GameStop right now. We are trending down. We're at about 99 bucks right here. It looks like we've broken any potential support we could have had at previous levels here, maybe at $100. We've just broken through. We have gone down to levels of 97 before and 86 intraday. So it does look like we might have areas where we could bounce off from previous levels. We do have a green candlestick forming here after hitting $98, which is not near some of the lows that we have seen. We've got Ocugen really giving up the gains here, not holding on well in the after hours. Tesla giving up a little bit in the after hours as well, was positive in the after hours, has turned negative in the after hours. So let's see here. Okay, what else do we have? Let's see. We got Cinemark, 2%, BNGO, PSAC actually coming up a little bit. We got Drive, the autonomous vehicle ETF, up, all of a sudden bouncing there in the after hours. Cape, this one this was such a big trade where it was up like 100% in one day last week. And it has given up a lot of its love over the last few days. So, especially after the ARC clickbait, which was really unfortunate. Affirm still talking, kind of moved on from the business there, started talking about the politics. We've got a commercial on Fox Biz. Okay, well, there's a Friday for us. So I would say at this point, if you want to chat over the weekend, make sure to check out the course link down below. Use that coupon code HODL. Bundle up as well if you'd like. Folks, we won't have a market open live stream again until Monday. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.